Oh, hi. You just caught me trying on some of my hats. It's not all of my hats because I have an awful lot of hats. And it made me think, wow, there are a lot of different hats out there. Some people wear them for work, like, oh, perhaps one of these hats. Oh, this could be like a construction worker and it's got a light on the front. So if it's a miner, maybe somebody would wear that for work. If you were a professional baseball player, you might wear one of these for your work. If you were a pirate, I guess you could wear a pirate hat. Is that a real job? It's one of my favorite hats right there. You could wear all kinds of hats. Oh, you could also wear them for fun or for dress up because I like to play dress up. I love this hat. It's very nice. It has a veil. And this is my husband's hat I borrowed. Wait till you see it. It's crazy. It is from a character called Inspector Gadget. Okay, it has a propeller. And if you don't know who Inspector Gadget is, go ask your mom or your dad or your grandparents. I bet they know. So I thought, since I was thinking about hats, one of my favorite children's books is called Caps for Sale. And I thought maybe we could read it today. And it's told and illustrated by Esfer Slobodkina. And I probably said that wrong, but let's read it anyway. It says, Caps for Sale, a tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. So let's see what happens. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had on his own cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, and a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. Now, a peddler is someone who goes around and sells merchandise or sells items. And he walked around and sold his caps from his head. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap. Can you imagine that? He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. I think I'll go for a walk in the country, said he, and he walked out of town slowly, slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. That's a nice place for a rest, thought he, and he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First, his own checked cap, then the gray, then the brown, then the blue, and then the red caps at the very top. I don't know how he reached the red caps. It's a very awful long way up. They were all there, so he went to sleep, and he slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. Do you notice anything? Let's see. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. But all he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey, and on every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. The peddler looked at the monkeys, and the monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. You monkeys, you, he said, shaking a finger at them. You give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, This made the peddler very angry. He shook both hands at them and said, You monkeys, you give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook both their hands at him and said, Wow. How do you think that made the peddler feel? Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, You monkeys, you better give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, Tss, tss, tss. By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both his feet and said, You monkeys, you better give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, Tss, tss, tss. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it on the ground, and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off his cap. And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own check cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, and then the red caps at the very top. And slowly, he walked back into town calling, Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. The end. I love that story. It's a really fun story. Now, if you have a lot of caps like I do, you could do something else with them. So I had an idea. I don't have a lot of gray caps, or brown caps, or blue caps, or red caps, but I do have a lot of baseball caps. So I thought perhaps we could make a pattern. Now, I don't have enough colors to make a pattern with colors, but I thought since they all have a bill on them, perhaps we could make a pattern with the bill, and then maybe you could come up with your own pattern. And if you don't have enough caps, that's okay. You can think of something else. You could get pieces of paper, and you can have blue paper or red paper or gray paper or brown, and you can make a pattern with that, and you can make your very own pattern, because I know you can do it. You are so smart. All right, so I'm going to start with this Gwinnett Gladiator's hat. Oh, and I'm going to put this one this way, so we have one going each way. All right. Oh, so my Hawaii hat, Queen hat. All right, so I'll keep going until I have all the caps. You could also just stack your caps and see how tall you can make a tower, because I think I'm making my tower pretty tall. Oh, hope they don't fall. Oh, I'm almost to the bottom of my pile of caps. It's a tall pile. I have a lot of caps. Let's see. Oh, I'm almost hidden. Gonna be buried under caps. Batman cap. And I think I will put this one on the very top because it has a huge pom-pom on the top. I figured that would be the best for the top. All right, so I have a pattern. I have ones forward and backwards, forward, backwards, forward, backwards, forward, backwards. And you can come up with your own silly patterns. I just thought that might be a little bit of fun. So I hope you enjoyed Caps for Sale. Again, this is Miss Leslie, and it's always a great day in pre-K. It was good to see you guys. Bye.